So like I want to talk to the people who are who are angry, who wonder why it's so hard to obtain spiritual knowledge, or like you want to speak it from a certain perspective, but it's like you got to go get it in order to do that. So you keep playing with this energy. Well, not for nothing, you're first at something too. You're just not aware that you're first at it. You're first at noticing that you lack that energy. You're the first person that sees that. Nobody else sees it but you. This is why you're able to plan the way you want to, as far as coming at other energies or wanting to take other energies from people. You see it first in yourself that you lack that energy. And because you see it first, instead of you taking that knowledge and using it as a guideline on how to move forward, you go the opposite direction. That's like if you was young and somebody was trying to tell you to do it this way, but you never took that do it this way as a learning lesson to comprehend, to change up your thought pattern at that moment. It's like you never got that. So you keep constantly going through being the first person to experience what you lack, but you don't do nothing about it. That's the difference in between you and the person that you're trying to emulate. That person that you're trying to emulate, they get their knowledge. They just listen and they take their knowledge, and when it comes to them, they experience what they got to experience. They get the lesson from it, and then they teach about it. You get a level of knowledge too, but you don't teach nobody about it. You're the first person to understand what it feels like to go the opposite direction, lack thereof, spirituality that you're trying to tap into. You know that better than anybody. And it's a lot of people that need that knowledge. But because you keep trying to be somebody else, you're not giving people that knowledge that you have. So when people be saying shit like, I don't see that, I don't comprehend this, I don't know how they see it this way, you know that. You know why. Because you have those problems too. You know what I'm saying? And that right there is that's what I was saying before when I was like, yo, some of y'all got knowledge and don't comprehend that your knowledge that you have is powerful. And in the position that you are, because you're going the opposite direction, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Because you want to be this teacher, you want to be somebody who speak prominent, but yet you're not teaching the lessons that you signed up for. You're not like, you're supposed to be a history teacher. You're out here trying to be a science teacher. There's that type of energy. And it's crazy because that be the real science to shit. Like, every time it's a problem, it's not a real problem. It's just that you're going in the opposite direction of what your issue is because you keep looking outward. And that be the problem with most people. It's like you want to do something, but you won't do what you're supposed to do. And what your class is about, you're mastered at that. But you can't master what's outside of you. So you get mad that you can't be somebody that's not who you are. But yet, you ain't even pick up your paperwork yet. You got a whole folder sitting on your desk. Day one with homeroom, what you're supposed to tell your class. You over here like, yo, what the math teacher got going on? All praises to the Most High. That's what I be meaning by divine put everybody on their own timeline. The Most High don't make mistakes. It's just that because the world is going opposite of its natural direction right now, your thought pattern is opposite of self. So the things that you fight against is really the shit you're supposed to be teaching. I'm just saying, yo. When people be like, yo, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do this, I don't know what this is, and then you feel some type of way because you really ain't tapped into that. So then you get frustrated, you go the opposite direction. Well, the lack of not having it is the understanding of what that means. So you're the master of that. You know what it feels like not to have certain traits. So it'll be imperative for you to learn how to break that notion of not comprehending your traits. As soon as you start understanding the lack of what you don't have, then you can solidify on learning that. You are the bridge in between that. That's why you're learning what it feels like not to have the things you don't comprehend as far as spirituality, because you have to bridge that in between where people don't know and they'll come over to learn that. That's a whole nother class that ain't nobody teaching out here. Supreme knowledge, like all praises to the Most High. Like I tell you, I can see this shit. I see it all day long. I see who's supposed to be doing what exactly what they supposed to be teaching. You know what I'm saying? I can see exactly what each person's supposed to be doing. But ain't nobody truly trying to give me the opportunity to show you your divine title. Y'all want to run amok and just do whatever you think. No, everybody has a particular John they supposed to be teaching. And I can see that shit. I can see what your superpowers are, straight up. That's just one of my natural abilities. I know how to see it. That's why I had did that podcast a minute ago called God of Awakening Gods. I can see it in each person. You know what I'm saying? But I got people out here hating because they know I got these different abilities, and they're afraid to connect certain energies that allow this shit to go fortuitive. And there's other energies out here trying to stop me from being successful. So I truly do need the people or the right ones to see, because the rest of this knowledge out here in the world is not going to bring us back to the original basis. And if you listen to what I'm saying, when the golden ages was available, when they was around the whole earth, because it was one time when it was a level of spirituality that was equal for everybody around the whole plane of existence. When that was happening, that allowed everybody to rise in their own particular right. Isn't that kind of indicative to the value of me trying to get everybody to rise in their own right? And it's just this one particular energy that has people keep surfacing back to, oh, it got to be just one particular. No, it's not one nothing. Everybody can rise. You just got to separate from certain things. By cultures, I can see it. I can speak to a whole culture right now and change the dynamic. It's actually giving me a little anxiety because I really want to get it going. You know what I'm saying? I really want to get it going and start seeing the activation take place. But you got to keep in mind, it's groups and situations that's been together on this planet for a minute, and they've been holding the locks on the ley lines. They've been holding the locks on the energy burst. The energy burst got to be released, but they only can be released by a certain way you looking at shit. It's not something you say like abracadabra. You know what I'm saying? It's not something it's not like left, right, A, B, A, X, Y, X, Y. It's not like that. It's basically what you understand about how you're connected to certain shit. And I can tell you that individually. But, like I said, you got to get a consultation. You got to tap in with me. You know what I'm saying? And we got to go from, because everybody's different. Nobody's going to be the same. Nobody. It even gets deep down when I be watching, like, I'll see, like, the horoscope shit on, like, in your email or whatever, and they'll be asking you questions, like, different questions to try to get a feeling about you. And then while I'm reading they shit, I'll be like, they not asking the right questions. They only asking particular questions that leaves large gaps. So they're never going to be able to solidify the real direction of a person. I can do the indifferent to that. I know how to see through all that shit, so, and ask the right questions and have the right dialogue and the right conversation. So anyway, with that being said, I hope y'all, like, you know what I'm saying, took that meditation that I dropped the other day and took the knowledge in that and started utilizing it. And then what I'm saying right now, if some of you feel like you're on the other side because you're always in this particular type of energy, it's just because you haven't. That's like saying Ben was supposed to take the trash out, but you ain't take it out. So now that shit's stinking in your kitchen, and then you just keep feeling lazy. Eventually you're gonna get tired of that shit sitting there. You're gonna say, let me take this shit out myself. It's like that. You're just in that position with your own shit. With you understanding your own knowledge or whatever that's on your timeline of existence. That's how it's playing out in your world. So since you ain't pick up that folder and really did the work on you, you know what I'm saying, to comprehend, well, I don't like this shit. What is it? All right. What are the dynamics of it? Why do I feel this way? All right, I can't do that. And it bothers me when I hear certain things that I can't access fast. So that shows me I lack that. You got to go into the whole science of that yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when you start breaking down these differences, you can see it in other people by the way they act. And they might not be able to explain it. They might not be able to say, you know, it bothers me because that I hear people be a certain way and I want to be able to access certain things, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody really doing that for that particular type of energy. We too busy flowing. We flowing. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's a role for everything. But then, in the same breath, like I said, in the same breath, ain't nobody really picking up that mantle right there, trying to see how to shake out some truth. And that's doing the world a whole disservice. Hold on. It's doing them a whole disservice. And then people be like, yo, how these chapters got left out? The chapters got left out because somebody knew how to infiltrate the character scheme. That's like deeper level science and magic that people do when they know how to fuck up your character scheme. You know what I'm saying? Because you focused on the wrong thing. So that's like you focused on that, but your job was to do this. So now that you looking over there the whole time, your job is not getting done. As soon as I can get you to keep your head straight, I can cut your hair. You keep turning your head around, I can't cut your hair straight. So I get you to stay still and focus on what I'm trying to get you to focus on, then everybody will get their job done. But if you keep looking at the wood builders and you a metal builder, you ain't gonna never get your metal welded. Everybody got different jobs. You know what I'm saying? And some people focus on their jobs because they're already laid into it. So if by practice, you never got taught how to get focused on your job, you got to teach yourself that. That's a strong transformation. It was 133 when I said that. 1333. 1 and 3 threes. Which is 10. And that was crazy when I said that because 10 is a fresh start. So you mastering that, you comprehending those things will give you a fresh start. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. That was 1333. That was 1 and 3 threes. That was 3 threes is 9 plus 1 is 10. So that's a fresh start because 10 is only 1 that starts over. So after the knowledge in a cipher, see the circle at the end of the 1. That means that's 1 completion. So you failed that complete completion. You already went through all that. That 1 gave you a clean start on all that knowledge that you got. See how that math come together naturally? I'm just building with you. And it's showing within its own frequency. This is what happens with clarity. When you got real clarity and you speaking from sincere notions and you're connected to the divine and you dropping knowledge or whatever, that's me following the divine. I get profit from that. So I can be seen as a prophet, but I'm just following the class right now. Like I'm in class and I'm listening. So as I'm listening, I'm doing what I'm told from a sincere place, right? So as I'm speaking, the frequency itself lines up with me. So even on this device that's made by man, it gave you the numbers that followed out what I was speaking in the same frequency. That's impossible for somebody to do on a scale of accuracy. You can't get a 1333 at the same time I'm speaking on something that would change the trajectory of your life from one point to the next, giving you a new start. Having that 133 be the definition of what I'm saying in the same altitude. You can't get that. That's called universal mathematics. That's synchronicity in full form. You can't get that. That happens when it's truth being spoken. That's the difference. I'm not even touching the phone. It's just recording me. Who said I was going to land on that spot of time in recording with that particular piece of knowledge? Who said that was going to add up to that? I'm freestyling. It's just me building with you in a sincere notion. All praises to the Most High. For real, that shit get crazy. Hold on. That's all I'm trying to say to you, like, and that's what happens after you discipline yourself and you do your own job for a while. Other doors inside of you start opening. And see, these doors become powerful allies to you because you master these understandings. So these understandings, they always float within your consciousness, becoming a part of your universe. So now you become like Doctor Strange. You got all these different doors that you mastered that you can go in and out of in different consciousnesses. That whole libraries of knowledge. But you mastered the pathway through these understandings within yourself. So now they become doors you can step in and out of. You know what I'm saying? So now you got all these doors around you, and people, they'll feel the frequency because they got the doors of living energy there self. It's a whole pathway that you created through your consciousness to come out of an understanding. That's what get deep about it. You know what I'm saying? People take this shit too lightly. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing really to take lightly. It's just when you start comprehending the depths of really what's going on and how they get you lost and confused in the world. It's like twisting 3 strands of hair, twisting them first, right? And then braiding them. And then taking that braid and braiding it. You got twists and braids and all this shit. Like, that shit twisted all the fuck up. You got to unbraid it, then untwist it, then comb it straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that. So when it's all twisted out, you got to find the road to walk out of that. And that's how crazy it be inside most people's minds. People don't like being called crazy on a real mental level. Like, yo, that motherfucker crazy for real. You be like, I'm crazy. Yeah, you fucking crazy. This is what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you start seeing people separate from society like that in some mental form, they don't want to accept the fact that they literally lost their mind via their experiences. But that's an understanding, like, your whole job is to save that civility no matter where you at. You got to save that within yourself. Look, I ain't gonna hold you. I just want to build with y'all for a minute and bring this knowledge. You already know the vibes, man. It's NAGA the Wise. I'ma holler at y'all. Be back at y'all soon, man. I'm just in a zone right now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes even when I be dropping jewels, like, them shits be so deep sometimes, I be like, damn, that's crazy that just came through. Because the review in my mind be fast. I'll go back and watch this and listen to it, and I'll be like, damn, I ain't even peep I said it like that. But you already know the vibes. I said I ain't gonna hold y'all. Y'all hold it down. NAGA the Wise. Matter of fact, information always in the description. On consultation, graphic designs, advertising, all that. Hit me up. One.